guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy and I am based in Kent, and today's video I'm going to be sharing what we're going to be sowing in July. And a lot of people think that the growing season's finished in July, but there's still so much you can still sow, so I'm going to shout over the lorries going past. In fact, I've got so many seeds that we could be sowing in July that I've had to sort of thin them down a bit because we haven't got enough space for them all. Some of them are sort of the same vegetable but a different variety, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to start with just a couple of cheeky things that actually say on the packet to sow up until June, but we're hoping just if we sneak them in, put them in the greenhouse, that we can, fingers crossed, it will work. So one of them is just this cucumber. It just says to sow outdoors in June, but what we're hoping to do is sow them in the greenhouse, and because that obviously retains some of the heat, we can get a longer season from them. We've not tried it before, but you got to try these things, you never know. So that's what we're going to try with them. And then the swede, we couldn't find our swede seeds, and I found them the other day, and it does say June, but I think we'll be all right. Okay, then we've got some onions. So our spring onions, which we've been using, these white Lisbon ones, we've been succession sowing throughout, well, since probably about April, and we've been getting a good harvest from them. These can be sown outdoors right up until September, so these will still be sown as a succession crop. And then I just found that I had these ones as well. So these are spring onions, but they're like red ones. These you can only, it says you can only sow these up until July. But I also, what I did last year is I sowed these in the greenhouse, and they did really well. They didn't grow very big, but it gave them a really good head start, and then I put them outside and then they sort of fattened up a bit. So yeah, they're quite good ones. We've got these ones in the ground and in pots, and also we started them off in the greenhouse and then potted them on as well, so they're really good. And then I've got these sort of silver skin sort of baby onions. So again, it says until June, but I'm going to chance it with them, give it a go. I've got some kohlrabi. So we have got some green kohlrabi already growing in the ground. It's not starting to fatten up nicely, but we did grow these ones last year and they just look really pretty as well. So this is purple delicacy, and these can be sown right up until July, so we're going to probably start them off in the greenhouse and then pot them on when we've got some space. And then we've got leeks. So I've got these two different types of leeks. Again, these can be sown right up until July, and we will probably maybe start them inside and then move them out. We just find we get a better sort of germination rate like that, rather than putting them straight in the ground. We tried doing that with some of the things here, and we just ended up with so many sort of gaps where some didn't take, and then we've got wasted space. Oh, there's a little bird just sitting on the tree there. It's better than listening to the cars going past. Then I've got some kale. So this one is a candy floss kale, and it does grow that beautiful colour. I grew this last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to eat any of it because rabbits ate it all. But we've got fences round now, so hopefully they won't eat them. So yeah, this can be sown outdoors right up until September, and it's great to last you all through the winter. Kale's really good at growing through the winter, so you can still be getting a crop even when the weather's not so great. And then I've got this dwarf curly kale, and then my favourite Cavolo Nero. I've got these already in the ground and we're eating them now, but I want to sow another lot, just to, I don't know, just that the one in the ground should just keep producing, so as you cut it, it just keeps growing. I just want to put a little bit, sow a few more just for security, really, just in case. So that's the kale. Then we've got some turnips. We've already sown some, but then we've got these ones. These ones are supposed to be really quick growing, So we're going to get some of them going, and also these ones that we always grow, these ones, the snowball ones, they look lovely. And then I've got some beetroot. So I've got the Boltardi beetroot. You can't see that because this is already open and been a bit battered. And then we've also got this one that just look at how that looks. How pretty is that? I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but you can read it. This is an Italian one. Then we've just got this sort of baby beetroot. So we're going to sow some of them. And what we do with these as well is we normally just sort of multi-sow them in a seed tray, and then when they get to a certain size, just move them out in sort of their groups of maybe 3. And they grow really well like that. Oh, I've got this one as well, the cylindrical one. Cylindra, yeah, so I'm going to do them as well just because they look really fun. I've not done them ones before. Then we've got some radish. So radish you can sow right through till sort of September, October time. We did sow some, it grew really well, we didn't eat it quick enough and it all went to seed, and so we're going to sow some, but sow it in small amounts, not 2 whole rows of each one. So we've got the icicle one and the French breakfast. We did have a sparkler one as well, but I don't know where the seeds have gone for that, but that one's really good. And then we've got the carrots. I'm not sure if we're going to sow all of these, but they can all be sown. Definitely going to do some of these ones, and then we might sow some of these in a pot. Got a big like trough pot that's about that deep, so I might grow some of them in there as well. So we're also going to sow some cabbage. We did already have some cabbage in the ground, but the pigeons have eaten a lot of it, so we're going to grow some more of this. And this one, it says it's quite good for small gardens, so I know we've got an allotment, but we're hoping that it won't take up as much space. So yeah, we're going to grow some of this. And then we've just got some Swiss chard. This is amazing. It's so easy to grow. It produces so much, so many leaves. The one I planted last year, it grew all through the winter. It didn't, well, I say it grew through the winter, it stayed alive through the winter. It didn't really grow loads of leaves. And then once the weather warmed up again, it started to grow again. So that's really good one to grow. And also some spinach. I like to grow spinach in pots, partly because we get so many weeds and I can't tell the difference between the spinach and the weeds. So put it in a pot with compost and then you don't get as many weeds. And then some basil. Basil you can grow all year round. I'm not great at keeping basil alive, but I do try, and I keep it indoors so that we have it on hand. And then last but not least, I think, we've got some more beans. We've got some dwarf beans. These are the Purple Queen. We grew these last year, grew them in big containers, and we got loads of beans off of there. So they're these sort of dark purple, and then when you cook them they turn green. And then we've got some green dwarf French beans. So yeah, we're going to start them off again. Like I've said throughout the whole video, we start them off indoors, either indoors or in the greenhouse. And then once we've got a plant, we plant it out. And then if there's some seeds that haven't germinated, then obviously we don't have to plant them ones out, if that makes sense. So that's all the things that we are going to be sowing in July. I have got some flowers as well, but most of these are going to be sown now, but they won't flower till next year. So they'll be sown in the greenhouse, kept in there, and then I'll put them out next year. And then I either put them in my garden or I put some down at the allotment as well. But yeah, so I've got some gypsophilia, some foxgloves, some sweet rocket, sweet William, some daisy things, Goliath daisies, and some delphiniums. So yeah, there'll be more for sort of next year really. So yeah, that's everything that we are going to be sowing. So let me know what you're sowing this month. What has been, I'd like to know as well, what has been a really, really good crop for you so far this year, and what hasn't. Because I think there's years where you have something grows really, really well, but then another year it doesn't. I think, you know, it does depend on the weather a lot. Everything does. So yeah, let me know and also different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So let me know what you've grown that's done really well and what you've tried to grow that hasn't done very well. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.